All right, welcome back and thank you for staying with us on KTV Kenya. This is the election 2022, and on this segment we shall be having a discourse with civilians, members of the public, electorates, political commentators, of course, talking about the 2022 general elections that was just concluded yesterday. The voting exercise was concluded, and now what people are waiting for is the tallying of results and, of course, declaration of winners following the poll results. Joining me in studio is Brian Birgen and Atieno Opondo. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for coming.
Yeah.
All right, now maybe we just start by your experience. I believe probably you all voted. You're patriotic citizens, and you participated in the democratic process. So Birgen could probably just tell us what was your experience, and then you could probably also tell us, being that you are a presidential agent, how are things in these polling stations in the regions where you are doing the observation of this exercise?
Okay, thank you, Mondi. I voted. Oh yes, that is our own rights. It's our right to vote as a Kenyan citizen, wherever you are. So I was the presidential agent in Nandi County, the specific place. A place by the name Chamasai, Kaitanui, different places, different polling station. And I was standing with like 5 polling stations. Yeah, the turnout was good. That is, my expectation was, we were expecting more people to turn out because it is our stronghold as UDA. With our presidential candidate, William Samoei Ruto, we were expecting the community to turn up in large numbers to support him.
They did?
No, it's unfortunate we didn't meet the target that we were targeting. Right. You know,
that's of course that's normal. It was not only in your region, because we have also seen it in the strongholds, the political beds of other candidates. Of course, that is cutting across. So, Atieno Opondo, how was your experience in these 22-year general elections? How was your experience? Probably, maybe I could probably tell you've also voted probably in the previous elections, comparing it with the previous elections. How would you describe these 22 years elections?
I think the turnout was shockingly low. I've never been to a polling station where I come at midday because I didn't want to go extremely early or very late, and I'm like the 15th person in the line, unless you would say they were well organized, but I doubt, because we always packed until very late, especially at Westlands where I was voting from. The lines were short. They were not as I expected. But as we have seen over the news reports everywhere in the country, the turnout wasn't really good. And it is quite sad, because over the years we have seen people, even sick people, being carried to go and vote. Yes. Grandmothers, grandfather, as long as you have the ID to go and vote. And also we discovered that most of the people who didn't vote were actually the youths. So that is something that probably we will discuss.
Right. Yeah. In fact, that's where we're headed. The level of voter apathy in these 22 elections, it's worrying not on Kenya alone. Because even international media were anticipating that if this year's election registered 22 million people, they expected probably the turnout will be something headed to probably 20 million or something. But as it turns out, it's probably 60% or thereabout. So what do you think this apathy is attributed to? Why are people not turning up to vote?
People do not trust the system anymore. You hear the youth say, why should I waste my time to go and vote, and yet it has been decided for me? I read something, and I think I can read it here as well. There's something I read, and it is from someone who is very powerful and influential. And she said, and it's all over social media, Njeri Wamwegwe, she said, I did not vote. She showed her hand, and she said, I did not vote. Am I ashamed? No. I don't believe in broken systems that are never there for the citizenry. I'm also glad you all exercised your right to and made the best candidate win. Today was a good day to rest and recuperate for me. I think this is sad. If our country has gotten to this point
Right.
that people are not voting anymore because they do not believe in the systems, where are we headed to? And I can believe that so many of the Kenyans, especially the youths, because if it is the youth, they have voted probably twice or thrice. That's the age gap. And if the systems are not being trusted when you were 20 years, when you were 25 or 30 or 35, it is the same cycle. Why would you go and vote? Yeah.
And then probably, I don't know what bargain you'll have on this voter apathy. You know, we are coming at a time when there is a lot of questions of corruption. For the youth, there is the question of unemployment, the debt crisis in the country. And I thought this will probably give a reason. They could motivate the electorate to go and participate in this democratic process. Why was it, why did it not turn out as probably it would be anticipated even for the youth?
Okay, first, let me tell you this. The youths mostly currently value holidays. As my best friend have said, according to the way I saw in my home place, most of my friends, and even if you saw the tweet of what is the name of this guy? He told me yesterday when we were at Bomas, it indicates clearly that the reason as to why most youths didn't turn up is because of the holiday. Most of the youths were working. So when they find this time, small time of like tomorrow is on a election, so they'll be like, okay, I'm tired of going to job. This
But it was
holiday-
declared a public holiday.
Yeah,
That is not a valid reason why.
Yeah, let me tell you this. The reason as to why I'm telling you that is because of this. You know, before being declared a public holiday, you are working, right?
Right.
You are working. Then tomorrow is a public holiday. You find you will be waking up, going to a place, maybe it is a distance where you are going to vote. So you just say, he'll be like, I'm going for a distance to vote. Let me have this time to rest.
All right.
So I'm telling you this, as youths in future, what we need to do is just to value, you know, I'm going to elect a leader
Right.
who is going to be with me for the next 5 years.
All right.
Can I interject on that?
Maybe, yeah, sure.
Because it does not add up. Because I'm tired, I will not vote. Probably the voter education wasn't done right, or there was no convincing leader who'd push you to want to go wake up and vote, or is it that we lost it over the years? I remember when we were growing up, there was something called geography, history, and civics. Our civic duty was to go out and vote. And I think something has been lost over the years. That is why you'd find a youth saying, I'm tired, I want to sleep and not go and vote for a leader. And yet you only have 5 years to consider that one person who could be your leader for another 5 years and literally could dictate what is going to happen to your future and the future of your children.
But again, looking at, when probably we could take that reason, in fact, but though it's not so validating that youths are probably saying that they're tired. During the political campaigns, we could see the rallies. They are turning up in their numbers, to go and listen to these electorates. So maybe, I don't know, Atieno, from your experience, would you say that they didn't get enough conviction from these electorates, or what do you probably think changed in between? Because if they were to turn up the way they were turning up during the campaigns, it would be a different story here.
It's the money. It has always been about the money. I will go where I'll be paid. And unfortunately, that's the level of corruption we have in our country. That I will not, have you ever seen this experience of children campaigning in school and suddenly your child comes home with sweets and something like that? We started that at a very young age. And now you can imagine the same is happening to the grown-ups. I will go to the campaign as long as I'll get my 500 bob or my 1,000 bob. I will have something to eat that night. And that would also be my transport. Now, for elections, who was paying? No one. And so when you think I'll use the money that I have to actually get out of bed and go and vote, it wasn't convincing enough because I didn't have the money that I'm so used to during the campaigns, during the times that a leader would show up and at least I'll go home with some good cash.
Right.
Yeah.
And Birgin,
Before you
yeah.
continue, let me touch on that. I think the turnout that you saw, even we as Kenya Kwanza and the deputy presidential campaign led by Nanoke, we used to go to different places. We used to go to some places where you just see, when you just see in social media, you just see that we have massive people. So the reason for this turnout, I think most of the youths is, at the end of the day, what do you have on your table? What do you take home? You know. So according to me, what I've seen at this age of mine, and I'm growing politically, pole, it is because of, at the end of the day, utakuwa na nini kwa meza?
Right.
Utachukua nini kwako? Yeah, that is what I see. Like
probably, don't you think maybe the electoral body IEBC, in terms of preparation for this election, people have cited that the IEBC, the electoral body, was not really prepared for this election. Do you think they need enough civic education to just give even the electorates a conviction to go and participate in this democratic process?
Okay, what I can tell you first, I cannot say they were not prepared. I was from Bomas of Kenya. I congratulate the IEBC. Up to where they are, they have tried. This, when you see some other places where they were, the government, the parliament amended a bill last time during the petition that during the results of 2022, the results transmission will be used by manual register and this electronic register. So the Law Society of Kenya, 1 week, or it's almost 1 week, nullified. They just said, no, you will be using this electronic, no manual. So I'm heading there. So I'm calculating the IEBC. I'm telling them, they have done a good job. They didn't even, like, in future, they need more time to educate youths to go to some other places where they didn't mali wakufika. So wafike huko, they educate the youths and those people from the reserve.
All right.
Yeah.
But is it only the work for the IBC to educate people?
Maybe, what I would also probably maybe want to input in, what's your opinion on the preparedness of this electoral body? Because earlier on, the chairman of this body, Wafula Chebukati, was giving an assurance to the electorates and the voters across the country and even abroad, because we are diaspora voters, that all systems are ready and they are going to give Kenyans a free, fair and credible elections. But we saw failures in the systems of this IBC. The KIMS kit were failing in some of the regions. They had to resort to using the manual register. Are Kenyans, concerning how the IBC handled the whole ordeal, do you feel that we are going to have a credible election, credible results? Because the tallying has just started. Will people be contented with the result that shall be relayed with the electoral body?
Okay, before I get to that, can I answer something that he was talking about? He was talking about preparedness and education when it comes to the rights of people to vote. I don't think it is only the work of IEBC to educate the members, the country members, the voters. I think it is the work, yes, for the IEBC. It is also the work for media to educate people on the importance of voting. And also, I think there are also people who are fighting for the rights of Kenyans. And I actually think that if these people who are always saying haki yetu would come and say haki yetu, haki yako ni kuvote.
Right.
It is your right to vote, and everyone should have that education. And I also think it should be taken also to our schools, so that by the time someone is leaving school, for example high school, they know one of the things that I'm going to do as a grown-up adult is to vote. And when you have all these people passing the information about the right to vote, then you will have a better Kenya and not just point fingers at IEBC.
Right.
So did they do enough? Well, they tried. They
As
tried. I can say, yeah, just
They
like you
tried,
say,
yeah,
they
yeah.
tried. They had better polling stations this time. No, not just one crazy long line to go to one spot. They
They were
had,
like
at least we had streams and things like that. So it made work easier. But on preparedness, when it comes to the kits that were needed and all that, I'll go back to what Baba said some time back. And he said that it won't really work on the kits alone because these are electronics and they can fail.
Absolutely.
What they did wrong was removing the
The
manual,
manual register.
register. Because I remember I got to Muguga, people were coming. Not everyone has a smartphone to check where the stream
Where the
is.
streams are.
So you go and you check. There is the manual checking. So if you can check manually, why can't you vote manually? Your name is on the list. So I think until Kenya upgrades to the level whereby the other countries like the United States and the rest are at, I think we should still consider doing both until we are 100% sure that we can actually trust the system and the kits. Because how can one area of the country have kits that are working perfectly and then some specific areas do not have kits that are working? That is very questionable.
Sure.
And truth is, I would question why those specific areas.
Right.
What is it about those specific areas that is making the kits not work?
Yeah. And then probably if...
Excuse me just a minute. She has said there is some places the kits were not working. Specific place. Can you she just tell us where?
No, it's in the public domain. I mean, it's open.
Okay, let
it's
me tell
open.
you that where we are at Bomas of Kenya, where we were, you know, in where we are right now, we have a UDA center, we have Azimio. You do your own tallying,
Yes.
parallel, right? You know that.
Yeah.
You do and you do. So according to the way we receive results, you know, where there were failures of those KIMS kits, they were replaced.
They were replaced.
Yeah.
That is
So,
very right. That is
yeah,
very
sure.
right, Brian. Just
Yeah.
I mean, just get it from me. It is very right. The places where these kits were failing, they were replaced. That is according to the CEO,
Yeah.
Hussein Marjan. They did a commendable job.
Yeah,
But
sure.
remember, at a point, even with one of the presidential candidates, Professor Wajakoya, when he went to vote, the KIMS kit, he couldn't. I mean, they could not find his details on the KIMS kit until he had to go and come back. You know, and now the question actually that this thing will be raising on you know, the credibility of these elections failing in one region. Not only that, questions have been raised on the gubernatorial race in Kakamega, in Mombasa. Could it be that it was a plot to weaken the enthusiasm of voters from, probably we could say, someone's stronghold? I don't know. We are not going to you know, point a lot of fingers, but just give us your open thought, just your opinion concerning this.
No, I don't think so. Maybe I don't think so towards to weaken some other strongholds or what. According to me, the IEBC just mentioned by themselves, they just said we are postponing the election of Kakamega and Mombasa
Yes.
because of this and this and this and this, and it is in the public. So I cannot come here and just say, oh, IEBC postponed election in this place and this place because in the favor of Baba or
No, they give a valid reason.
Yeah,
of course.
they
They
give
give
a
a valid
valid
reason.
reasons. Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
I don't know what you think. Maybe could you probably relate the issue of kids and you know, the elections, the gubernatorial elections in Kakamega and Mombasa? Don't you think probably this could also have impacted the turnout of voters in these regions?
If you cancel something because the kits are not working, why were they not replaced? Like the other places that they were not working? Or for how long will it be postponed? And why only the governorship? Why not the presidential? Why not the MPs, the women rep, and all the others? That it is questionable. The problem is not that the person who was coming to vote was only coming to vote for the governor. the person was coming to vote for the entire thing, then they
6.
should have cancelled for the president, the governor, everyone in those regions. Am I making sense here?
Sure.
They should have cancelled for everything, not just the governors.
Was it Kim's kits or the ballot
I mean,
papers?
it is a mix-up because there are a lot of things actually happened. Before you get to the Kim's kit, the postponement of the gubernatorial races, that was earlier on when they were opening the ballot papers.
Yeah, sure. And you are right. The reason as to why the postponement of that gubernatorial seats was because of the ballot papers.
Yes.
It is not because of the Kim's kit.
But again, you know, talking about the Kim's kit, some of them were failing, and it was not that immediately it fails, they were to resort to using the manual register. There were a lot of protocols. There are a lot of protocols because we are following on from the press releases with the electoral body. They're saying that if the Kim's kit fail, you don't just remove the manual register. You have to make calls to the headquarters. But now, look at that situation. Voters are already lining up. I mean, they want to vote. Some of them came very early in the morning. You're trying to reach out probably to the headquarters as the protocol says, and you know, there's the time factor. Do you think, you see, this one could probably demoralize even some voters? Like, I came in very early in the morning, I'm told we have to wait, we're making call to Chebukati needs to call Majan needs to call Cherera for us to use the manual register, something of that sort. Yeah, but anyway, away from that, that already ended yesterday at 5 p.m. Now, the big thing now here is the results. The tallying has already started, and we have seen people already conceding, you know. And it's unfortunate that some sort of violence are emanating, but we'll get into that later. How are you from the reaction of the electors in different, you know, from different regions? Probably give us an example of Nandi, where you are. Are they convicted? Are they people convicted with the results? And of course, are we seeing some form of concession, or we'll see now people coming out that I was rigged out of this or that? How are things from your place?
I think Nandi County, you know, in Nandi County, we had a specific sensitive place, which is Nandi's constituency. If you just saw sometimes back UDA nomination, we lost a friend. I lost a friend personally by the name Wesley Kogo. He was a youth. He was an aspiring member of parliament, Nandi's constituency, but lost him, may he rest in peace. So that Nandil constituency, the sitting MP, that is Alfred Keter, and the UDA member of parliament, Bernard Kitur. Yesterday, Bernard Kitur won a UDA, so Alfred Keter considered a defeat. What does he tell us? He tells us, like, currently, we are in a modern Kenya. We need peace. We need peace. So when you are being defeated, you accept the results. We wait for another day.
All right. And you know, how are things probably from where you voted and probably where you stay? People conceding peacefully.
People are fine. People are quiet. People are anxious. People are confused. I've never seen Kenyans like that before. You know, coming into town and you find an empty town. It is very rare because people are supposed to go back to work. It's not a holiday. And
Nairobi is one of the busiest cities.
Exactly.
I would be surprised if I get to town and get in that situation.
It is not crowded at all. And it's because of what is happening. People are quite anxious. I do not know why. I do not know why. But I am glad when someone fails, they say, congratulations, sir. Congratulations, madam. It is not normal in Kenya, and I love that because now Kenyans are adjusting to understand, hey, nimeshindwa this time, next time. It's like people who are running in the Olympics. I mean, the person who was in front of you was in front of you and got there first. So all you can do is go and say, hey, congratulations, even if you're not feeling good for losing, but it's civil to go and say congratulations. And at this point, I would also say congratulations to the ones who have been able to win up to this point. No matter where, you know, leaders come and go, but Kenya still remains.
Exactly.
Leaders come and go, Kenya still remains.
Right. All right. Now, another thing.
Before I continue, I think, let me add on that. A member of parliament of Langata, that is Nixon Korir.
Yes.
He tweeted, siasa sio chuki. So, Kenyans we need peace. Ni amani ndo tunataka. Kesho Raila akishinda ama Ruto ashinde, mimi kama mtu wa Ruto, where we are. If Raila defeats us, we will be like, okay, thank you, we try another day. Tukishinda, we hope for the same. We hope for peace.
Right.
Not the way some allies tweeted, like, you know, when you follow media currently, Sifuna tweeted some few hours ago, telling, then he has tallied everything and give the final results. I think we should not go that way.
Sure.
Because we are inciting Kenyans.
Sure, absolutely. Right, now maybe because of the interest of time,
Yeah, sure.
we want us to look at these presidential elections. On your end, but I'm seeing you're really optimistic about the Kenya Kwanza. But what you anticipate, what impacts do you think this is going to have? We'll probably say that, of course, from the provisional results that we are seeing, we are seeing it's a tight race between ODM leader Raila Odinga and, of course, the Kenya Kwanza presidential candidate. What kind of future are Kenyans probably likely to have if it falls on the side that you are so optimistic about?
If it falls on the side of hustlers, I think we have been preaching this. We have been talking about the Mama Bogas. We have been talking about the common mwananchi in streets. You know, the Mkokoteni man. We are talking about that. Our presidential candidate, William Samoei Ruto, is talking about locating funds to some ministries, making judiciary independent, making some other place independent. The judiciary, most important is the judiciary. I believe you watched the interview of our presidential candidate, the state capture.
Just on a light note, the question that I'm asking is, with the leadership in Kenya Kwanza, we are looking at a better Kenya, or I mean, what? Just on a very light note, what are we looking at in future? Because in these elections, the women factor really played an important role. You know, people are saying that we need women in leadership, in top leadership, but it's not something that we saw in Kenya Kwanza. Does it maybe the leadership in Kenya Kwanza giving hope to women?
I don't understand your statement. What do you mean by we didn't saw in Kenya Kwanza? Do you mean because Raila picked Martha Karua as the deputy president? So you don't see that women being valued in Kenya Kwanza? Maybe. But I'm telling you this. If it falls on our side, which I believe it will fall on our side.
Yeah, you have to be optimistic, yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
We will, as you heard the deputy president say, I'll give 11 ministries to the women.
Right.
Yes, we hope that.
That was so impressive because we even saw he signed MOUs with women
charter.
And of course we see we hope if they clinch that seat, these will all be implemented. On your side, I don't know your stand. I don't know your stand really, but maybe for you, of course, you'll give us an insight of what will happen if it goes. Probably now, let's talk between Kenya Kwanza and Azimio. If it goes to Kenya Kwanza, what are we, what future are we looking at? And what I want us to delve much is the issue of women. If it goes to Azimio, does it really give the women hope in terms of leadership? Because when Azimio announced Martha Karua as their running mate, we are seeing a lot of, cheers around the country that, women and everything. What do you think? What do you think in this election?
Okay, I will say both sides. I'll say both sides because if it goes to Honorable Ruto, I think Kenya has grown and given a chance to someone who does not have the dynasty title.
Right.
As they call it.
Yes.
And they have decided, okay, let's try another route. And they actually believe in him and what he stands for. If it goes to Azimio, and you talk about women, I'm very passionate about women, and I know that the fact that a lady was put up as a running mate was a very big show on where they stand on women and how they expect women to be in leadership. Now, for women in business, I know they have been talked to, and they have been given hope that their businesses will flourish and things like that. This I had a chance to see in Thika, where the leaders had a meeting with business people from the central region and all that, and women were assured that their position was put intact. But if it also goes to Azimio, you find that Kenyans have that, they have gone back to holding on to what they know.
Right.
They know Baba, they know what he stands for over the years, fighting for freedom and things like that. So it is a very interesting race, and I can't wait to see who is going to win. Did I vote? Yes. Do I know who I voted for? Probably I voted for Wajakoya, and you did not even ask.
We know we're just missing this question, of course, on the provisional results.
Yes,
For the interest of time, my director is telling me we need to wind this up.
Yes.
But of course, we won't talk about this. I'll just mention it. If it does not fail, another factor that is coming with these results, if Raila fails to clinch this seat, he tried the first time, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, and now the fifth time, probably it could change that perception of never give up, you can try again next time, you can try again next time. I think that is a perception that could change. But anyway, for the interest of time, my director is telling me that we need to wind up. You have 30 seconds. What's the message you probably want to pass to the general public?
Okay, personally, I want to tell the people of Kenya to be patient. Let's wait for the results. We are optimistic at Kenya Kwanza. We hope for the best. And in some few hours, some few days, because Tharaka-Nithi and some other places have not voted, we hope for the best. And William Ruto automatically, God willing, will be the President of the Republic of Kenya. That is my prayer, and some of our few supporters.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, because you've really shown that optimism, of course, in clinching this seat, we also wish you the very best.
Thank you.
Wish everyone the very best.
Yeah.
May the best candidate win.
Yeah, sure.
Atina, what's your final take?
Which camera am I using? Okay. What I would like to say is Kenya is bigger than any human being. Whoever takes the position will come and go. We have seen presidents in the past who have come and go, but Kenya comes first. It is not worthy to fight with anyone. That neighbor of yours will still remain that neighbor of yours. No one among those people will pay your school fees. No one will feed your children, and no one will pay your rent or take care of anything else. It is up to you. Let us love one another as Kenyans, and remember, Amani Idumu. I love you all.
All right. So thank you so much, lady and gentlemen, for showing up for this discussion. Of course, we really loved your insights and your input on this discussion. And of course, we still have more room for further discussions as we are waiting for the final results from the national returning officer, that is Wafula Chebukati, on this. Hope to see you soon. And with that, say that's it for today. Elections 2022 shall be seeing you tomorrow. Have a great one.